Hey, how's it going, guys? Today I wanted to talk about Far Cry Primal. Now, before I get into anything, I just want to let you guys know that I'm not going to be home. Actually, while you're watching this, I won't be home due to some personal business. And so I probably won't have any videos up for at least the next day or two. I'm not sure how long it's going to be. When you see a video, you'll know it's all good. And so I wanted to create this video just to kind of talk about my first impressions of Far Cry Primal and kind of, I guess, tackle some of the things people are criticizing it for. It got, it's getting decent scores, at least from what I've seen so far. And I guess we'll talk about why people hate it so much, and then I'll just give my impressions. And the only thing I can really find is people are saying that it's just a reskin of Far Cry 4, which is a reskin of Far Cry 3. And in a sense, they're kind of right, but they're also kind of not. I mean, nowadays, if it's a game in the same series, there's going to be some baseline similarities. Because if it works in one game, well, the game developers are going to want to do it again to keep people happy. They shouldn't do it too much, but in this one they kind of did. But then again, I mean, there's other games that do the same thing, like Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, just to name a few. One thing that is pretty interesting, though, is that they're able to at least tell somewhat of a story without, the English language. There is still technically English or whatever language you speak with subtitles, but I was kind of curious to see how they were going to do it, and I think they did pretty good. I'm not sure where they got the caveman language from. They probably just sat in an office for like 3 days straight, grunting and moaning and making up random names. Even though quite a few times I think I've heard them say something like fat ass and stupid and some real like English, but they just kind of auto tune it a little bit to sound more caveman-y. So a couple things. There are a couple reasons people say it's the same is, of course, you got the skill tree, which is pretty much the same, but, they tailor it for the specific game. Like in this one, they have it for your beasts, or to be stronger, or to craft more weapons. While in the other ones was more for your guns, or, it has to follow the story, it has to follow the game. So, yeah, the talent system is kind of the same, but what else would they really be able to do with it? Another thing is the crafting, the open world with the animals, which I don't really see a problem with that. They've had 3 games now to really get it right, and I think they did a pretty good job this time. One thing that they did do is they made crafting a hell of a lot more important than in any of the other Far Cries. Mainly because you can't rely on your LMG or your shotgun to do everything for you. I mean, yeah, you do get a bow, but that can only get you so far, and so you really need to craft potions, other stuff to keep you alive. You're going to have to constantly be making spears and clubs and arrows, because there's no money, so you just can't go and buy stuff. So I do like the fact that they made it more authentic, I guess you could say, in the sense that you do have to scavenge for stuff, and it's pretty realistic in a way, just in that one specific thing. The game isn't, realistic. But, I don't know, I still see people, complaining about it, and I like how they changed it a little bit. But, that's just my opinion. Another thing is kind of, in a sense, the fighting too, because, you still got the sneaks, the awareness of everybody, you got kind of the towers, you got the camp still, and instead of the radio towers, it's just bonfires now that you light up and it's yours and you get to see some of the map. But like I said, if a game company sees that something works and they're going to make another one, not a completely different game, but another one in the series, they're going to use it. It makes sense. Why, change something that's broke when they can just fix it? Now, it's not maybe the funnest after 30 hours of playing, but when you kick it up, it's pretty fun. I'm having fun, at least. I'm like 10 hours in, 13 hours in. Done about 43% of the game, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to take a 2-3 day break, which is going to kind of suck. So, I'll be excited to play it when I get back. But it hasn't worn off yet. In those, 10 hours, I'm still having fun playing. One thing I did run into is I ended up, crafting everything that I can craft and upgrading everything that I can. So the crafting now is mainly just my weapons, so that kind of falls short because you can get all that done in a pretty short amount of time. I could say you could easily get it done in probably the first 5 hours of gameplay if you just really focus on gathering stuff and doing certain things to get certain people. I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody who hasn't gotten the game yet or hasn't been able to really play. Because I'm just a bum, so, I have, a lot of time to play. Other than, just the crafting, the skills, the kind of fighting style, I haven't seen too much else negativity towards it. I mean, I thought, what I've played so far, it's been a pretty interesting story. It's a little more interesting considering it's, again, cavemen. But I thought it was a pretty interesting story. It's unique in its own way. It's not exactly like, I think 3 and 4 is pretty damn close to being the same game, just change the story. But Far Cry Primal, from what I've seen so far, is definitely more of its own thing than, as I said, 4 was to 3. Like I said, there is similarities, and there's also differences. But at the end of the day, game companies are going to keep the baseline of what works, and we're just gonna, I don't want to say we're gonna have to deal with it because I don't want to deal with it. If they're gonna make another one, which I'm sure they're going to, hopefully it's not next year, it's a little down the line because we don't need it every year, every other year. I hope they do change it up quite a bit. I do like the open world. I hope they keep that. I do like the skills they have now in a way where you can do certain things to unlock skills before you actually do main missions. It's not, as you're doing main missions, you're getting it. You can be more prepared for certain missions, but there are still other missions you have to do before you can unlock other skills. So I hope they keep that. Another thing that I hope they keep is the animals. If they're going to make another Far Cry that's in a jungle or in a jungle, which I kind of wish they changed the scenery a little bit more. They kind of did with this one, as you got a north, a south, and then just the middle. But I really do want them to really change it up if they're going to go with another place that has animals, to somewhat change the scenery, which I guess that is another thing. I haven't really seen anybody actually mention that. But it is definitely a thing that they did copy. It's basically just a jungle. But, like I said, I'm still having fun. But other than those few things, I really hope they change it up. I don't know what they're going to have in store, if there's going to be guns, bows and arrows, swords maybe. I'm not really sure what time period they're going to do it in. I would kind of like to see something on the more, which I guess technically it is, each game kind of does have a supernatural element, but I would like them to focus on that maybe more, or maybe more scientific, kind of like how they do with Far Cry Instincts. And the reason I bring that up is because that is my favorite Far Cry out of the series, though technically it's not in the series, it's a spin-off, but it's still out of the Far Cry brand, it is my favorite. So that's kind of like, I guess I technically put my thoughts with, me tackling some of the criticism that's being, thrown towards Far Cry Primal, which I basically just see it on videos of people playing Far Cry, just people bitching, oh my god, they just reskinned Far Cry 4, and then in parentheses, Far Cry 3. So, in a way, they are right, but they're being a little dramatic. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And also, let me know what kind of video you want to see next time, because I don't really have anything planned out for when I upload something. So, maybe tell me some games, maybe. Tell me some ideas of a game, maybe, if you just want to see gameplay, if you want to see me try to go for some achievements, collectibles. And I know I did 2 of the Dying Light things, and I didn't finish them technically, but I'm not going to be able to do the race cars or the notes because it's been 2 weeks now since the DLC came out, and I haven't found everything, and I don't really know if I'm going to. So if I end up doing that, I'll put that out, but don't worry about letting me know that. I know I have to get that done, or at least hopefully get that done. But any other games, I can maybe buy it. I don't have much money, so I can't just go buy, every game people mention. Maybe there's some, indie games or whatever you guys want to see me play. Go for achievements, do some stupid ass challenge, kind of like with what I did with the Volatile Hive on Nightmare with just my fists. But that'll be it for this video. I really do hope you guys enjoy it. And just really wanted to thank anybody who recently subscribed. It's kind of a not so great time to, because I have to take this personal leave. But hopefully that gets sorted out quickly. And it is kind of crazy, because I think in the past 2 weeks I've gained more subscribers than the past 4 months that I've had this channel. So that's pretty sweet. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video or any others, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See ya!